Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Daily English Stories, your little corner of inspiration where we explore meaningful stories, uncover life-changing lessons, and share ideas to make our lives richer and more fulfilling. If this is your first time joining me here, I'm so excited to have you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you never miss a video. Every week, I bring you something special, whether it's a simple English story to help you learn the language naturally or a deep dive into personal growth topics that can spark real change in your life. Today, we're diving into something truly thought-provoking, a topic that's especially close to my heart as we kick off this new month. Have you ever felt like you're just floating through life? Like you're going through the motions, school, work, paying bills, but deep down, something feels missing? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today through an incredible book by William Damon, a world-renowned psychologist and professor from Stanford University. The book is called The Path to Purpose: How Young People Find Their Calling in Life. It's a guide to help us, especially young people, find direction, motivation, and meaning in a world that sometimes feels overwhelming and directionless. So, grab a cup of coffee, a notebook if you like to jot down ideas, and let's embark on this journey together. Oh, and if you enjoy learning English while soaking up inspiring stories like this, then Daily English Stories is your perfect spot. I'd love to hear from you. Where are you listening from today? Your bedroom, a coffee shop, maybe on your morning commute? Drop a comment below and let me know. I'm so curious to connect with you all. Let's start with a question. Have you ever felt like life is just drifting by? Like you're on a boat with no map, no compass, just floating aimlessly? If you have, you're in good company. William Damon, the author of this book, is one of the top 50 most influential psychologists in the world, and he spent years studying how people grow and develop. He points out something striking. In today's society, especially among young people, there's a growing feeling he calls drifting. So, what does that mean? Simply put, drifting is that empty, purposeless state where you're not sure what you're working toward or why you're even doing it. It's like life is a routine on repeat: wake up, go to school or work, come home, sleep, and do it all over again. On the outside, everything might look fine. You've got a job, you're paying your bills, maybe even buying a car or a house. But inside? There's this quiet, nagging feeling that something's off. Damon says this isn't just a personal struggle, it's a widespread issue. In the US, for example, studies show that up to 45% of college students deal with serious symptoms of depression. That's almost half. And psychologists have even coined a term for this confusing phase: emerging adulthood, a blurry space between youth and adulthood where many people feel stuck, unsure how to move forward. I remember when I was younger, before starting Daily English Stories, I had moments like this too. I'd look at my to-do list, study, work, save money, and wonder, is this it? Is this what life's supposed to feel like? Maybe you've had those moments too. It's like you're busy, but not alive. Damon's book promises to help us break free from that drift by finding what he calls our purpose, a clear, meaningful direction that lights up our lives. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll have some practical tools to start finding yours. So, let's dig into what he discovered about why so many of us feel this way, and what we can do about it. One of the most fascinating parts of Damon's book is how he breaks down young people into 4 main groups based on their approach to goals and purpose. This really hit home for me, because it's like a mirror reflecting how we live our lives. Let's walk through these groups together and see if you recognize yourself, or maybe someone you know, in one of them. First up, we have the disengaged, or nuoi lak long. These are the folks who prioritize comfort and ease above everything else. About 25% of young people fall into this group. When Damon interviewed them, they didn't talk about big dreams or specific goals. Their focus? Just living a fun, carefree life. They're chasing instant pleasures, think scrolling through social media for hours, binge-watching shows, or chasing the next cool experience like dining out or traveling for the perfect Instagram pic. At first glance, that sounds nice, right? Who doesn't want to enjoy life? But here's the catch: over time, those quick thrills start to feel repetitive and empty. I've been there, spending a whole weekend gaming or watching Netflix, only to feel restless and unfulfilled after. Damon says this group might seem happy on the surface, but without deeper meaning, that drifting feeling creeps in eventually. Next, we've got the dreamers, nuoi mo mong. Another 25% of young people fit here. These are the ones with big, shiny ideas: I want to be a famous singer, or I'll start $1 million business. But they rarely take action. They love talking about their grand plans, but when it comes to making them real? Crickets. I used to know someone like this, always dreaming of becoming a YouTube star but never picking up a camera. It's not that they're lazy, they just don't connect their dreams to practical steps. Damon says this group gets stuck in their heads, and without action, those dreams stay out of reach, leaving them frustrated and drifting too. Then there's the dabblers, nuoi nong ken, making up about 30% of young people. These folks are the opposite of the dreamers, they're all about action. They set tons of goals and chase them hard, but here's the twist: their goals often come from pride or a need for status. Think of someone obsessed with getting a degree just to prove they're smart, or climbing the career ladder to impress others. I've seen this in people who work crazy hours for a promotion, only to realize they don't even enjoy the job. Damon explains that when your motivation is all about looking good or keeping up with others, it's not sustainable. Once they hit their goal, they lose interest or start questioning, wait, why am I even doing this? That emptiness sneaks back in. Finally, we have the purposeful, nuoi ko muc tu ro rang, about 20% of young people. These are the lucky ones who've found a meaningful goal that drives them. They're not just chasing random achievements, they see the why behind what they do. Maybe they want to teach kids because they love helping others learn, or they're building something that makes the world better. This group isn't drifting, they're swimming forward with purpose. Damon also mentions a tiny fifth group he doesn't focus on much: people with clear goals, but ones driven by revenge or negativity. Thankfully, that's rare. So, here's a little moment for us to reflect: which group do you see yourself in right now? Are you a disengaged, just coasting through? A dreamer with big ideas but no action? A dabbler chasing shallow wins? Or maybe a purposeful person with a clear path? Drop your thoughts in the comments, I'd love to know where you're at on this journey. For me, starting daily English stories was my way of moving toward purpose, but it took time to get there. Let's explore how we can all find that direction, no matter where we're starting from. Now that we've seen these groups, the big question is, what makes a goal worth chasing? Damon says a lot of us set goals based on simple questions like, what do I want to achieve, or who do I want to become? Maybe you've set targets like learning 1,000 English words, earning a certain salary by age 25, or owning a house by 30. Those are concrete, measurable things, right? And they can feel productive, like you're on track to a successful life. I used to think that way too: if I could just hit a subscriber milestone on Daily English Stories, I'd feel accomplished. But here's the thing Damon points out: those kinds of goals, what he calls short-term, material goals, aren't enough on their own. They're like checkpoints, not the destination. A true, meaningful goal, a purpose, goes deeper. It's not just about what you want to achieve, it's about why. Why does it matter to you? Why does it connect to your life? Why is it worth your time? A purpose is the big, solid reason that fuels everything you do, the heartbeat behind your daily actions. Let me give you an example. Say your goal is to buy a house. That's a big deal. It might take years of saving and hard work. But once you get it, then what? Damon says if your purpose stops at something like that, you might feel satisfied for a while, but soon you'll wonder, is this all there is? I've seen friends hit those milestones, a car, a house, a promotion, and still feel lost. Why? Because those are finite games, as another book, Finite and Infinite Games, puts it. If you only live for results like money or status, you're stuck in a loop of chasing one finish line after another, and when you cross it, there's either disappointment or emptiness waiting. So, how do we swim forward instead of just treading water? Damon compares it to swimming in a pool. If you just kick your legs to stay afloat, you might not sink, but you're not going anywhere. But if you swim towards something, a direction that excites you, you find balance naturally. A true purpose keeps you moving forward, not just holding on. And that purpose, he says, comes from what he calls the call within, a deep, personal reason that ties your strengths to something bigger than yourself. This idea of the call within is the heart of Damon's book, and it's where things get really exciting. A purpose isn't just a random goal you pick out of a hat, it's something that feels right for you and makes a difference in the world around you. It's where your personal vision meets a bigger social good. Damon pulls from another famous psychologist, Viktor Frankl, who wrote Man's Search for Meaning. Frankl said your life's purpose has to connect to something beyond just you, it's about contributing to others too. But don't worry, this doesn't mean you have to save the world or do something huge. Damon shares a beautiful story to show what he means. He once visited a small-town restaurant where the food wasn't even that great. But what stood out? The owner hired local young people, some of whom had been troublemakers, and trained them to serve with care. Over time, these kids learned to think about others and became better citizens. When people asked the owner why, he said, "Our mission is to make sure every customer comes in hungry and leaves happy." It wasn't about profit or fancy awards, it was about bringing joy and solving a small problem for their community. That's what a purpose looks like. It can be ordinary work, running a restaurant, teaching, creating videos like I do on Daily English Stories, but it's fueled by a deeper why. For me, this channel isn't just about teaching English, it's about sharing stories that help you grow and feel connected. What about you? Have you ever done something, big or small, that felt meaningful to you and helped someone else? Maybe you helped a friend, volunteered, or made someone smile. That's the seed of your calling. Damon says a true purpose has to meet 3 conditions: competence, meaning, and joy. First, competence, you need to feel capable of doing it. It's not about being perfect, but knowing you've got the skills, or can learn them, to make it work. Second, meaning, does it solve a problem or help someone? And third, joy, do you feel alive when you do it? Imagine drawing 3 circles for these, where they overlap is where your purpose lives. For me, making videos combines my love of storytelling, competence, helping you learn and grow, meaning, and the happiness I feel connecting with you all, joy. What would your 3 circles look like? Think about it and let me know in the comments. Okay, so how do we actually find this purpose? Damon doesn't just leave us hanging, he gives us a roadmap with 12 practical steps. I love this part because it's not vague advice, it's a clear path you can start today. Let's break it down. Have enlightening conversations. Talk to people outside your family, friends, mentors, even strangers, about what matters to them. It opens your mind to new ideas. Observe purposeful people. Watch how others with clear goals live and work. What drives them? How do they stay focused? Find your first aha moment. Ask yourself, what's something in the world that needs fixing or improving? It could be anything: pollution, loneliness, lack of education. Find your second aha moment. Now ask, what can I do to help? This is where you spot your unique strengths. Identify your purpose and act. Start small, test out ideas that connect your skills to that bigger need. Get support from family. Share your thoughts with loved ones and ask for encouragement. Boost your efforts creatively. Find fun, fresh ways to pursue your goal. Learn the skills you need. Take a class, read a book, practice, whatever it takes to get better. Sharpen your execution. Keep refining how you work toward your purpose. Stay optimistic and confident. Believe in yourself, even when it's tough. Commit long-term. Purpose isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. Apply what you learn. Use the strengths and habits you build to enrich other parts of your life. One story from the book really stuck with me. It's about a 6-year-old boy named Ryan who visited Africa and saw kids without clean water. He decided his purpose was to build wells. He started by earning pocket money, then rallied people to donate, and by his teens, he'd helped build hundreds of wells across Africa. If a kid can find a purpose that big and make it happen, imagine what we can do. What's one small step you could take today toward your own calling? Maybe it's talking to someone or jotting down an idea. Share it with me below, I'd love to cheer you on. Finding your purpose is one thing, but sticking with it? That takes a strong mindset. Damon warns us about something he calls the culture of instant success, and wow, is it real? Today, we're obsessed with quick wins. How fast can I get rich? How soon can I be famous? I see it all the time online, people chasing financial freedom or viral fame like it's the ultimate prize. And sure, wanting money or recognition isn't wrong, I mean, who doesn't want a comfy life? But Damon says if that's all we aim for, we're setting ourselves up for trouble. He lists 3 consequences: inner conflict, disconnection, and disgust with the world. Think about it. If you're pushed to chase shallow goals, like getting straight A's just to impress your parents or working a job you hate for the paycheck, you might succeed on the outside but feel miserable inside. I've talked to people who hit those targets and still felt lost, like, I did it, but so what? That's the trap of instant success. It's loud and shiny, but it doesn't last. For parents watching, Damon has a special note: let your kids find their own path. Too many parents play driver in their child's life, steering them toward what they think is best: good grades, a fancy job, a perfect image. But that can drown out the kid's inner voice. Instead, he says, be a passenger, listen, spark their curiosity, and help them explore what lights them up. And if you're feeling that pressure yourself, maybe from family or society, pause. Listen to your own heart. What's your fire? Not the world's, not your parents', yours. My friends, that's the journey of The Path to Purpose by William Damon. It's not just a book for young people, it's for all of us, at any age. Whether you're a teen figuring out life, a parent guiding your kids, or someone like me running a channel like Daily English Stories, there's something here for you. The big takeaway? Life doesn't have to feel like drifting. You can find a purpose that's big, solid, and true to you, one that blends your strengths with a greater good and keeps you moving forward with joy. I hope this video inspires you to take a step, even a tiny one, toward your own calling. Maybe it's writing down those 3 circles: competence, meaning, joy, or having a chat with someone about what matters to you. Whatever it is, today's the day to start. As Damon says, today is the youngest you'll ever be for the rest of your life, so why not make it count? If you found this helpful, please give it a like, subscribe to Daily English Stories, and share it with someone who might need a little nudge. I'd love to hear from you. What's one goal or dream you're thinking about after this? Drop it in the comments or email me. I read every single one. Thanks for spending time with me today. Here's to a life full of purpose, freedom, and happiness. See you next week on Daily English Stories. Take care and keep shining.